Welcome. I'm Bernice Ross, the CEO and President of Brokerage Up and RealEstateCoach.com.
And my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm the co-host and co-founder of the wildly famous and fantastic podcast, Real Estate Uncensored. But today we are coming together with Bernice Ross, and we are Real Estate Coach Uncensored.
So, Greg, I've got a big challenge on my hands today. My brother has decided he's going to move to Texas and join us down here, which we're delighted about. But the question is, what do we do about his house in California? There's a property that just sold across the street that went for $100,000 higher than I anticipated that it would have. Mm-hmm. And my broker friends in LA tell me, one of my friends says she has a property that was listed very near our property and what the price range would be there. It just got 47 offers. Wow. The question is, what do I do? Do I stage it? Do I not stage it? It's a red hot market. Do I sell it as is? Do I do any work at all? And I'm kind of really struggling with this because every bone in my body says you want to show it to the best advantage. That's how I'm going to get the highest possible price. What do I do here? I'm kind of in a quandary as to, should I go through the process of staging and all the things associated with them? The backyard needs to be kind of sodded. But all the functionality of the house is really good. Everything's good in there. What should I do?
Well, the one question that comes to my mind immediately is, what's more important to you? Is it time or more money? Where do you land on that?
Well, considering that we've already got an accepted offer on a condo here in Austin, and I made a really great deal on that. Boy, the builder was running a closeout special, get the last unit done. I got the homeowners association fees paid for a year. They're giving us a new washer, dryer, and refrigerator into the unit, this brand new unit. And I got and they were paying a 4% commission. So I bought that property right. I do need to be closed in 30 days. We're in process of, it'd be great if I could sell California because I just could write a check for the property down here. So I do have some cost on waiting. Mm-hmm. My brother's goal, he's an introvert. He would like nothing better. What he wants to do is just empty the house of everything and just move. And he wants to make one trip down here to Texas. He just,
Well, it really depends on kind of your scenario. Based upon what your discussion with me right now, what I would advise you on, again, this is just a conversation. I would say, look, from what, if I was the agent, I would say from what my client is asking me to do, they need to exit their current situation as fast as humanly possible. What are you willing to give up to get to where you want to be in the time frame you want to be in? And then based upon that conversation, then we'd make a decision.
Greg, one of the things, if we decide that we're just going to make it vacant, the question is then at that point, do we virtually stage it? And you and I both love Box Brownie. I haven't had a chance to use them because I'm not actively selling, but I love this tool and what it can do. And, the backyard needs some work, but rather than spending the 20 grand that the landscaper is talking about getting for, to do that whole area back there, right. I'm thinking maybe go to iScape and just virtually stage this. What's your take on it?
Well, actually, that's a fantastic question, Bernice. And we had a property in a city called Pleasant Hill, and it was a vacant property. And it sat for a little while, and then we used Box Brownie, and we brought it in, and we spent whatever the cost was going to be. I can't remember the cost. I don't want to give the cost out because I might be wrong. But per room, and we digitally staged it, and then we used iScape in the backyard, and we showed them what could be done. We sold it like that because people, what they saw the possibility of what could be there. And then they walked in, it was a blank canvas. And so then they can go back and forth and they can see, oh, my TV, my couch, my dining room table, my master bedroom here, fill in the blanks. And it was very helpful, very affordable, and something that I would highly recommend because you know what? It's way more affordable than actually doing staging. And doing real staging is actually a very good idea. But if you're on a budget or if you don't want to, Box Brownie is a phenomenal option that you don't have to pay an exorbitant amount of money for. So yeah, I'm 100% behind it.
Well, the thing I really like about this is I can go out and take pictures of the property with the furniture in it. They can remove the furniture and they can stage it for me. Yeah. And then I think I am, based upon our conversation today, I am going to probably go ahead and get some flowers and stuff planted in the front and take care of the painting things that need to be done. But, I don't want people walking in and saying, oh, there's one little problem here, therefore there's a big problem that has been taken care of. I want those things handled.
Right. Do digital staging so people can see it online for their first date, and then, go in and see what the space that would work for them. That would allow you to activate and work as fast as possible to get the capital that you want and need to write that check to get him into that condo in Austin. Again, we're talking about time, not maximizing cash. And so, I mean, if you wanted to, put everything into it, that's one thing. The biggest returns from the articles that I've read is if you update your front door and your garage door, that will give you the highest return on your cash, along with fake rock facade on the front. Again, this is what I've read, and I'd love to get people's opinions on what they've read. But I mean, that's what I would advise my clients. The buyers are out there. I mean, they're actively buying. The interest rates are low as per the time of this recording. People are actively hunting. They're making massive moves here in the COVID time. They're shifting all over the country. I mean, one of the things that I would say is that, from our discussions here, I would say, look, just put it on the market. Let the buyers decide what they want, because if they're that active, based upon the incredible activity of people moving in and out of all different states, your property is going to sell itself. Now, people could probably say I'm crazy for saying that, because a lot of agents want to maximize their commissions, and I do not hate on anybody who want to maximize their commissions. But what I'm saying is it the right thing for your client when it comes to advising them? I would say, look, Bernice, your brother, let's get this thing sold. Let's get him to Austin. Let's get the money in the account. Let's move forward. If we lose X, Y, and Z amount of money, then if you're okay with that, then let's move forward. If you're not, then let's get some stuff fixed and, see how long we're going to sit on the market. But I don't see the return financially for you in regards to the discussion we've had.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
So it strikes me as, if I'm I'm going to put my real estate broker cap back on now and take my seller hat off, because I have been, I've been doing this with this whole decision around and around. And it's like, this is the classic thing. This is, by the way, why I have always listed, even though I've trained tens of thousands of people on how to list properties and what to say and what to do. When I get ready to sell, I hire an agent to represent me, because
Yes.
I know I have no business representing myself. And I'm really good at what I do, but I am just like, you can hear me going around and around here. And this is what happens to your clients.
Right.
So as I put my broker hat back on, so it comes down to, okay, so let's take a look at what's more important to you. As you said, time or money. And then the question is, how much more money would you get for, say it's $20,000, but if you spend 10 and then you put all this effort into it, was it really worth it?
Exactly.
And that's the, so the question is, are you willing to trade your time for money? That's, what's more important. So I think that was a really good question that kind of helped clarify things from my part. My brother just wants simple.
Okay, that's time.
And in fact, quite frankly, left to his own devices, he would be an iBuyer. If I weren't around, he would be an iBuyer.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And so, in this scenario that we're talking about, right, it sounds like we have made a decision. Like it's more time versus money. And like you said, if you put 10 grand in, you get 9 out. Well, you lost $1,000 and you spent 3 months doing it, or whatever the time frame would be. It'd be better to get him just into Austin, next to you guys, out of his current situation, and everybody's better for the wear. The buyer gets a good buy, the seller gets a good sell, everybody's happier. And
well,
that's
the other thing we need to factor in is, since we are, we went ahead and we're buying the property here in Austin with a loan, just because we didn't have the house in California. So I'm going to start making house payments in February. So, I have a carrying cost with that, with the other house. So the time, when I start figuring out my costs now, I need to look at the time to get this done. And maybe it's just, as you said, let's go as is, get it done, but take care of a few of the minor things and then just go.
Well, see, as this, and this is a perfect example of a conversation with a buyer, with an agent and a seller, because as we're having this conversation, you're revealing more things to me, because I didn't know that you're going to have carrying costs are in February. I didn't know a few other things about it. So yes, time is definitely of the essence. This is why when it comes down to working with your sellers and your buyers, ask consistent questions and do it persistently so you understand what their mindset is. Because if you ask 3 to 5 questions, you're going to get to the real answer, not the first question. So keep going on the questions. Then once you do that, they're going to open up to you and you're going to be able to understand how you can really serve them. And really serving them is your ultimate goal. That is your actual job, is to serve them, not to make your checks. Look, we all love checks. Okay. That's great. But serving your clients, Bernice, okay, this is what
Completely
you're telling me,
agree on
AB.
that.
Hmm?
Completely agree. Number one
Yeah.
is you got to do what's in the best interest of the client, whether or not you get a commission. It will never come back to bite you when you do the right thing, you know?
Dude, I actually did a negotiation for my brother-in-law and sister over the weekend, and I'm not getting paid on this at all, but I went to harden the paint on with them, and I did it just purely because I knew it was the right thing to do, because I wanted to help them out. And that's what our jobs are, and that's what you need to do for your clients.
Well, the thing here that you need to look at if when you start doing this time versus money
Hmm.
is in our case, where are you moving to? Is it a contingent sale? Even if it's not a contingent sale, if this property isn't sold, if you're getting a loan, you have those carrying costs. So you need to factor that into the equation
Hmm.
versus, taking the time to go ahead and fix things. Is it better just to get on the market, get it listed, get it sold? And, we're getting a Fannie Mae loan. So, there's no prepay on it. So we can do short-term loan on this, but, would rather not have to pay all those costs for funding that loan.
Yeah, I completely.
Maybe it is, maybe it is an iBuyer solution for my brother, because that's what he would do that in a heartbeat. He's not aware it's out there yet. So
Again, it comes down to the client. Whatever is best for them, advise them to the best of your abilities. And if it's to stage or not to stage, is it to do iBuyer or not iBuyer, whatever is going to be the best thing, but represent their interest to the highest respect of your profession.
final takeaway for today, Greg.
Well, takeaway from today would be, I would go out and, guys, when you have a conversation with your sellers, and this can be buyers as well, and this is two different, the question works for both of them. Ask them the question, Bernice, what's more important to you? Is it how fast I can either help you buy or sell a property, or how much you want to sell, or how much you want to buy, either high or low? What is the highest priority for you? And then listen to them. Don't just let it flow over you like like a duck has water on its back and just falls off. Listen to them, then execute on what their wishes are, because that is your job. That is your fiduciary relationship to get either the highest price for your seller, the lowest price for your buyer, and the best terms for both. That would be my takeaway. Bernice, what was yours?
Well, one of the things you asked me about, which, we were talking about, is this notion of, I used to ask this question as a closing script I've used for many years. What are the quality for alternatives if you don't sell right away?
Mm,
And in our case, since we are making payments on a new property coming up, then that factors into our closing and our cost. So
right.
is it worth it to take the time when we could have just gone ahead and done it as is? Maybe we took a hit for 5,000 or 10,000, but we haven't eaten it on the backside waiting for the other property to close. So anyway, thanks for being with us today, everyone. See you next time.